Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the pWoCast. If you enjoy this episode of the pWoCast, you can check us out on YouTube at pWoCast, or you can find us on Spotify or any other place you can listen to a podcast. If you enjoy us so much, you can follow us on Twitter at official pWorder, or you can follow us on Instagram at pWoCast. That being said, I hope you enjoy the show. So it's just me sitting there for 5 minutes. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be the very beginning of the episode. Is just going to be me sitting there for like 5 minutes doing absolutely nothing.
How enthralling for the audio listeners, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You download this bad boy on Spotify to listen to, and it's 5 minutes of absolute silence. It's a parent's dream. It's the podcast every parent wants to listen to.
Oh, exactly. I mean, yeah, kids
Hour
are
of
just so
absolute.
loud.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. Oh, I was a loud kid. I don't know about you, but I was very energetic, and very emotional. And if you know me, that comes to no surprise.
I was gonna say, it's like, okay, these dots are all making sense now. You know. Now I was pretty rambunctious as a child. One time I even I escaped from preschool.
You escaped?
Yeah.
But how?
They just didn't keep an eye on me. I made it halfway home.
You just left?
Yep. I'll tell the story. Oh my God. So I would have been like 3 years old. And see, I was so young that I was just at school and I was like, you know what? I don't really want to be here anymore. So apparently I have no recollection of this, but I know what happened. I think during recess, just sort of walked out the gate. No one was looking. I took off. And what's even more embarrassing for the teachers is that it was on a long road. So they would have had a solid like 2 minutes to see that there's a little kid like running down the road.
How would they not have immediately noticed the kid was gone?
That is fantastic. They just lost track of me. And the preschool was only about, I think, a mile and a half from my house. So, and I was a smart enough kid where I actually knew how to get home. I was like 3, but I remembered where home was. And so I just went back the way I came, and I went down the road, and then I went all the way up the giant hill. And I was just about, because I live in a suburb in a neighborhood, I was just about to enter my development. And that's when 2 teachers, like in a van, drove up. and I know.
You knew these teachers, right?
Yes, okay. They were teachers. They were my actual teachers. I recognized them. They were in there, and I shouldn't have said van. It's an SUV, like a mom SUV, you know?
Gotcha. Like a minivan.
It's not an ice cream van, if you get my gist. But they pulled up and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm going home." I'm like, "I'm just bored. I want to go home." I'm like, "Home's right down here. Just leave me alone." And they were like, "No, you need to come back to school." And I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "Well, because your mom might get worried and, she might think you're missing or something." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to make my mom mad." So I just got in there and I went back. And the best part was they never told my mom. And
that's funny.
And it wasn't funny to her. One of the teachers like alluded to it like the next year, because I went to preschool, I think 2 years, and then I went to kindergarten. So I would have been 4. And one of the teachers like made a joke about it. And my mom's like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Oh, no one said anything." And she's like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, like James escaped from school last year one time." And she was like, "What?" And she was like livid that they never informed her. They were like, "Yeah, well, he just got out and he went up the hill and we found him. So we didn't think we had to tell you."
I think I would also be mad if I didn't find out until a year later.
And the fact that like they didn't come out and tell you, like you had to ask, like you just overheard something and you're like, wait, did I hear that right? What's going on here?
I'm just in this story. I'm picturing just you, but like 3 feet tall, like exactly the same hair and beard and everything.
Yep,
And the
yep.
teacher's pulling up to you, and they'll be like, "Hey, we gotta go," and you're like, "Nah, I'm just down the road. I'm just gonna head home if you don't mind."
Literally, that was me. It was freaking 3. I already had it down. I was like, nah, I'm going home. I'm good.
So I haven't. It's not. I never escaped from elementary school, but when I was in elementary
Unfortunately.
school, we I'm live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, which is to
Yes.
say Vermont. And um I remember being at recess one time and just, minding my own business. And my to paint the picture, my elementary school had a huge playground. Like it was like there was like two different structures, two different swing sets. There was a soccer field. It was like one lap around the playground was a quarter mile. Like,
Wow.
and so one day I hear, oh, also, this is very important. The playground leads to the woods. And one day I hear, hey, Bobby ran out. And I'm like, what do you mean? Do you like go? No, they're like, no, Bobby ran into the woods. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, we can't find him. And he was just, there the next day.
Did they ever? So they found him the next day?
Oh yeah, I think he just went home.
Oh, okay. Okay.
like he somehow knew how to get home. This was I think he was in like third grade or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He just he found his way home.
Oh, my elementary school. That
Oh my
was
god.
something. I went to a place called Balmer, and the playground there was actually pretty big, just because they used that school. It used to be a middle school,
Mhm.
and then they converted it to an elementary school. So there was like a soccer field in the back and a baseball field out front, and then a second soccer field in the front, and then like a decent sized playground, and there was a swing sets, and um, there was a huge parking lot that they used for parent pickup. But since parents weren't there, we just played on it. And
Oh,
oh, there used to be like, touch football, and picture a bunch of third graders running around like pushing each other,
on
you
like
know,
the pavement.
on the pavement. Yeah, yeah. So that's great. And the best part was like they wanted us to use the pavement instead of the field for the logic that the field was closer to the road and the pavement was like way farther in. So there was less of a chance of kids like escaping or like going into the road.
Now correct me if I'm wrong, but from the way you've described it, isn't the pavement the road?
No, 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 no. The pavement is its own like parking lot, but it is off
Right.
of the road.
So it is the road, basically. It's
The
just
road.
where you go in the road to park.
Yep.
It's like kids running around a parking lot is still kids running in the road because cars could just pull up and park.
Yep. That is the Northbridge Public School System for you,
So
right there
so they would rather you play touch football
on
on
the
the
pavement.
pavement. My school banned silly bands because kids got too upset after trading them.
Oh, did your school ban Heelys?
I think my school banned Heelys inside.
They banned Heelys like all together because I think
Oh.
some kid just like totally ate it and like fell back and hit his head a bit.
But could you imagine how fun Heelys touch football on the pavement would be?
Oh my God. Can you imagine all those kids like sliding around on their Heelys and then just getting totally pushed over because they don't know how to tackle. They'll just push you, the little kids. So just wham,
You
right
know,
back. I can see it.
You know what I just remembered in this conversation that makes me upset? Because I was gonna bring up Beyblades.
Oh
And
my.
so we had, we had the kids who would always bring in their arenas and everyone would bring in their Beyblades. So we'd either use someone's arena or we'd use one of the slides because that way you could put more Beyblades on it. And there
Yes.
was always some asshole kid who would get to the top of the slide and rip his Beyblade all the way down and hit someone in the face, But I just
Yep.
remembered, so our apartment got Beyblades because we were like, why not? They're cheap, it'll be fun. And I just remembered that I left mine at the apartment, which makes me upset because I had some really good Beyblades back there.
Oh,
Oh,
like
God,
all the Beyblades.
all the Beyblades. I I was always in elementary school. I was always like a month late to the trends. Like
Yeah.
the trends would happen, and then I'd finally like get into it, and then it's not a trend anymore.
Yeah, there were some trends I just never really got into. Like, one was fidget spinners. I never got into it.
Mm,
Like I saw other people with them, and then I saw people try to capitalize off them, and then I saw it fall down in popularity again. So all the fidget spinners were like 90% off because they were just begging people to buy
yeah.
them.
Oh, I had fidget spinners. I like to try to throw them from one hand to the other and keep them spinning. I tried to try to do all the tricks.
Yeah. Oh, you were talking about Beyblades. Did you ever get into Bakugan?
A month late. I was a month late to the Bakugan trend. Everyone had already started. I hadn't gotten mine yet, and I finally got it, and it wasn't cool anymore. You know,
Hmm.
part of me thinks that it stopped being cool because I got my own Beyblades. But that's mean to myself, and I'm trying not to do that.
Exactly. No. Uh, I had a few Bakugan, but I love the Wii video game more than anything.
Oh,
Like it was so fire because it's one thing like playing with these little plastic things, but it's totally different like watching a video game and seeing all the animations that you're
mhm.
imagining.
I like the show more than the video games or the toys. I
Yes.
was really into the Bakugan show.
Yeah, I did like the show too. I
Yeah.
think that's what got me into it.
Yeah, that's what usually happens. They have like that same thing happened with Pokemon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
For like tons of kids when that first came out. It's like Pokemon cards are okay, Pokemon video games are okay, but Ash Ketchum is where it's at.
I think it's just now that we're on the topic of like youth television, I think some of the most like pipe dreamy shows have actually been like created. Like I'm just remember how like Fred, like like that guy, he had two movies, maybe three,
Yeah, it was
in a
three
TV
movies,
show. Three movies and a TV show.
and his dad is John Cena. Like,
Yes.
and this all started with some guy making just some high pitched random videos on YouTube. Which, if you ever go back to watch the Fred videos, that's like it's dark humor.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how like kids got into Fred. Like that's like parents should not have let their kids watch that.
That's how it is with a lot of things. I love watching children's movies to
Mm-hmm.
see the adult jokes that they put in
Mm.
there that go over kids' heads like in Cars. They have Lightning McQueen like in the first race. They have his fangirls come up and they're like, Lightning, we're your biggest fans. And then they keep like flashing their headlights.
Oh, that's good. That's funny.
It is pretty funny.
Oh,
And oh my god, my favorite has to be Shrek.
oh,
The
so good.
bachelor scene, like you know the one I'm talking about. Like it's when it's Lord Farquaad and he has
Oh
three
yes.
brides to choose from, and and I think one was like Snow White, and he's like, you know, she lives with seven guys, but don't think she's easy. Jesus.
One of my favorite jokes in Shrek. It's right around that time. Is the guy who goes, "Pick number 3, my lord." Oh my gosh. Kids television is something else. You know,
Yeah.
we were talking about it last episode, but like remember when they used to teach kids how to be nice?
Yes.
Like Mr. Rogers and stuff.
Yes.
Like there's a like I watched Mr. Rogers reruns as a kid because obviously, you know, I was a child in 2006, so like they weren't making new episodes of Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
But like I always watched the reruns and I like that's what taught me like, you know, basically how to act as a person. But then like watching newer shows, the newer kids shows, like I'm trying to think of like you ever watch Bubble Guppies?
Oh, I don't remember that one.
It's a show on Nickelodeon, like Nick Jr.
Yeah.
programming. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one of the voice like two of the main characters' voices were the same people who voiced Dora and Boots.
Okay.
But like there wasn't really any teaching involved in the kids show. It
Yeah.
was just like watch these kids go do these things. Same thing with like Doc McStuffins.
Yeah.
That it's
Yeah.
just something to keep kids' attention rather than to actually teach
Yeah.
kids.
I can name so many shows like that. I mean, like Handy Manny
Oh my god, Handy Manny.
had so many tools.
The crazy thing is that all these kids like grew up watching like Handy Manny and Doc McStuffins as their kids shows. They're in high school now.
Yeah.
Like that's weird. I don't like that.
And it's also weird because there's like two levels of kid shows. Like there's like the little kid shows, like
Mhm.
you know, Special Agent Oso, like the
Oh
bear,
man,
and,
yeah.
and just there's little kid shows, and then there's the ones like iCarly and Drake and Josh that are more live action, and they're meant for
But
teens.
even those are childish and bad now.
Yes.
Like there's the what's it, the Thundermans?
Oh God, yeah.
Was it Henry Danger? Like
Yeah, I miss like how good youth television used to be.
was Sam and Cat that bad that they had to scrap the whole genre entirely?
Sam and Cat ruined everything
They did.
except Ariana Grande's music career.
That wasn't because of Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon did nothing for Ariana Grande's music career.
Exactly.
They tried to do something for her acting career, but that's not wasn't good.
Just wasn't meant to be.
She wasn't a good actor. Have you
I
seen
feel
have you
yeah.
ever seen her on SNL when she was like hosting?
No,
Like
I never watched
it
it.
was real bad. Like
Oh,
it's not funny, bad acting. I was watching it back when I like watched Saturday Night Live every week, and even then I was like, nah, this week's not it, and turned it off and went to bed.
yeah, I stopped watching Saturday Night Live weekly quite a while
Mhm.
ago. I think the last time I watched it weekly was probably 2016, 2017.
Yeah,
Like
same.
like I love myself the old like early 2000s cast. Like,
Mhm.
just the whole crew, Will Ferrell, Jimmy Fallon, Tracy Morgan, all those guys. But then I also love like the early 2010s as
Yeah,
well.
that's
Because
my cast right there.
that's mine too. Because I mean, I think my favorite SNL cast member of all time, if it's not Will Ferrell, is probably Bill Hader. He's
Mm,
just so
oh,
versatile.
so funny.
You can put him in any role. He's like such a psychopath in real life, and like it comes out in his characters.
Have you seen the TV show Barry?
I have not. I haven't seen it yet.
It's either a Hulu exclusive or it's on Hulu. But
Okay,
it's Bill Hader, and he's like a serial killer or like a
that's
hired hitman,
yeah,
but he's trying to like pursue a career in acting at the same time.
yeah.
It's really good. I
Is it
haven't watched
just
it fully, but my parents have watched it, and it's
is
like
it an autobiography?
no, that would be OJ Simpson.
I was watching Pawn Stars, and some dude went on with the OJ Bronco. He's like, "This is the Bronco that OJ drove."
Bronco? Oh
Yeah,
man,
he
that
had
car is
the
iconic.
Bronco.
That's
Oh,
like that's the only like actual iconic car I can think of that belonged to one specific person was OJ's Bronco.
Yeah, but like it's tough trying to picture like just normal celebrities' cars that are
Right.
that iconic because it was seen by so many people, you know?
Also, because nowadays most celebrity cars are the same, red Corvette that goes vroom, vroom, and is like really fast and obnoxious.
And then OJ's sitting there with a Bronco
Yeah, right.
Ford.
I'd love to imagine like a celebrity like I don't know, Kevin James, while all of his buddies pull up in like Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Kevin James pulls up in like a 2005 Saab.
Yes. Oh, I would love to see Kevin James just pull up in like a 2002 Honda Civic with like 140,000 miles on it.
I'm pretty sure that's the car Post Malone drives.
Honestly, probably.
Kevin James is like a huge dick in real life.
Oh, I could see it.
Yeah, he let the fame really get to his head. He legitimately when he goes out to eat and his manager's there and like he gets mad when waiters talk to him.
Really.
Yeah, he's like, don't talk to me. My manager will order for me.
That's ridiculous.
Uh Adam Sandler, I've also heard, is not a nice guy. Or at least
I,
wasn't in high school.
Adam Sandler's an okay guy because I there's actually a fun story I have. So Adam Sandler was filming a movie in Mendon, which is a town in Massachusetts. It's 20 minutes down the road from me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was him and Jennifer Aniston. They were filming a movie, and people had been posting like all around like sightings of them. Like they're like, "Oh, I saw Jennifer Aniston at Target. Oh, I saw Adam Sandler here." I worked at a music store the next town over in Milford,
Mm-hmm.
um, like 3 years ago, and so all of this is taking place like last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still fairly close with all the guys that worked at the music store,
Mm-hmm.
and they told me a story where they were filming the movie and all of a sudden Adam Sandler just walks through the front door and he just started, picking up a guitar and jamming on it. And the two guys behind the counter, they're like, "Holy shit, it's Adam Sandler," but they're trying to be respectable about it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, one of the sales guys was just like, "You like the guitar?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it's fantastic," something like that. And then the sales guy walked away, and he said Adam Sandler was a really nice guy because Adam Sandler like kept calling him back. Like the sales guy made a point to try to leave him alone a little bit, and Adam Sandler's like, "Oh, you ever hear this song?" And he just played it. "You ever hear this song?" And he was just playing them, and there was only one photo taken, and it was this one guy that was like, "Oh my god, can I please have a photo with you?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course." So they took the photo, and that was it. But the best part was Adam Sandler, I think, bought like $1,000 worth of stuff, like a
Wow.
few guitars or something, and he he left his credit card there at the store,
Oh no.
and the thing was like it was like a premium credit card. Like it was like one of those like black credit cards that has like no limit, something like
It's like
that.
the credit card version of being verified on Twitter.
Yes, yes. And you know, so uh the salesman had to call. He's like, "What do I do?" He's thinking about it, and of course, thoughts run through his head. "Oh, this could be a nice house." That kind of stuff runs through everyone's head. But he ended up just calling the Milford police, and he was like, "Yeah, so Adam Sandler left his credit card here, and I need to get it back to him." And they were like, "Oh, all right, we'll have an officer come over and pick it up, and we'll have someone give it to him tomorrow, like at the filming, because they were detailing where he was filming." So, next morning, you know, this guy had to go to the police station and give them the credit card. And him and this, police officer are just standing there and they're looking at it and they're just like, this credit card is like worth more than both of our lives. And they ended up giving him the credit card back. But I haven't heard him be all that much of a dick. I feel like
Yeah,
Adam Sandler's a decent guy. I could see Kevin James being pretty
yeah.
dicky though.
I some one of my like mentors growing up, he went to high school with Adam Sandler, and apparently in high school Adam Sandler was just the generic jock type, just kind of
Hmm.
a dick to people in general. But who knows? Maybe fame straightened him out. Who knows?
Maybe he changed. I think a lot of those people sort of mellow out later on in life.
Yeah, you'd hope.
Some of them do. Some of them don't. Some of them don't.
Yeah.
But some of them do.
Have you seen the Mark McGrath video of him after a Sugar Ray concert?
Oh,
Uh, so he's have you seen it? No.
no,
So he's
but I know who Mark McGrath
yeah,
is, so I'm very.
he's
Oh no.
leaving he's leaving a Sugar Ray concert, and judging by the camera quality, I'd say this is probably like mid 2000, like 2004, 2005.
Okay, so they were like a
Yeah,
has been, but they weren't that far
right.
off.
And they're leaving, and you hear a voice out from the audience just go, "Sugar gay," and Mark, he is pissed. He gets up in some other random innocent person's face and starts like screaming at them. And he's like, "Call me sugar gay one more time. Call me sugar gay." And he starts like kind of getting weird with it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass. Like, fuck you. I'm sugar gay." Like, so, and he's like in the middle of it. He's like stopping. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not sugar gay. You're sugar gay." Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, have a wonderful time. Sugar gay? No, you're sugar. Like,
Oh my god. I've never seen that. I gotta watch it. I just know Mark McGrath from Celebrity Apprentice. Like I used to love watching that show before Donald Trump turned into what he is now. Before we knew just how dangerous it was, when it was a joke.
you
It was
watched
a joke.
you watched the Joker origin story before the actual Joker.
Yes, yes. Oh my god. And just some of the characters on there, some of the celebrities on there and just what they do. Oh my god, it's perfect. Who's the guy that was the lead in Sharknado? You know who I'm talking
Oh,
about?
I don't know the answer to
Oh,
that
I'm trying
question.
to let me look him up. What is his name? Ian Zering. That's it. Ian Zering. He apparently played someone on Beverly Hills 90210 is what he's famous from.
Yeah,
He's this ginger guy. He's such a dick. Like
is
he's
he?
so bad. Even on camera, like with other celebrities, he's horrible. So I can only imagine what he's like off camera, like in real life. This guy was in a team with I think it was Johnny Damon and
Whoa,
uh,
that's a name.
that's the name, and Debbie Gibson. I think she's like some sort of singer, like actress maybe. Not a huge name,
Yeah,
but she's a celebrity enough where they're like, all right, we'll let it
it's
slide. You can be on the show.
yeah. I feel like every D-list celebrity, basically any celebrity that would appear on shows like Dancing with the Stars and Celebrity, I feel like every single one of those celebrities is a mean person.
Oh yeah, yeah. And and so they're on the Celebrity Apprentice, and the task was, I think they had to come up with a jingle for Crystal Light, like the beverage. And so Johnny Damon's in there, and they had a team of like studio musicians to help them. And Johnny Damon was like trying to run it, and I think he was the project manager. Johnny was the project manager, and he was doing a pretty good job of being equal, And he was like, "All right, we could do this and do that," and he was looking for input. And Ian Zering was just such a dick because in the boardroom, he's like, well, we lost because Johnny didn't go on my jingle. He's like, I had a jingle and Johnny wouldn't go with it. And and Trump's like, all right, you guys, we're gonna settle this. And so, they call everyone out of the boardroom and it's just Johnny and Ian and Debbie. It's like the losing team. It's just the three of them. And he's like, all right, well, what happened? And obviously, like Debbie took Johnny's side, and they were playing like the tape, and Ian Ziering's jingle was just like cucaracha. It wasn't even original. Like he's sitting there going do 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 do, and he's like changing all the words. And Donald Trump's sitting there, and it's bad when Trump can pick up on someone being an idiot. And he's sitting there being like, "Look, Ian, it's La Cucaracha. Why would you want to go with this?" He was just so silent, just fired like right away.
We should have known how Trump was going to act by that alone. It's La Cucaracha. Why would we go for it?
I love watching so the Celebrity Apprentice is kind of the Joker origin story. It's the story. The actual moment was that 2011 Correspondents' Dinner. Have you ever seen that?
Is that the one? That's the one where Obama makes a joke about Trump, and he's just like, even in the shadows, he's just.
Yeah. Well, Trump is sitting at a table, and he's like, you can tell it's like pissing him off. And I think Obama was saying something like, because Trump was trying to push the birther movement, that Obama wasn't born here, he was from Kenya. And so Obama was making all these jokes. He's like, when I was growing up with my brother back in Kenya, and they were all laughing. There was one where he's like, all right, Mr. Trump, well, I'm glad we can put this to rest so you can get to more important things like figuring out who to fire this week on Celebrity. He's like, this week you fired Gary Busey. He's like, I can only imagine, how hard that is, and what it's like to go to bed at night. It is such a fantastic clip. If any of the audience hasn't seen it, go take a look at the Correspondents' Dinner. I'm not doing it justice. Like, Obama's jokes were so much better.
Is that the same dinner where at the very beginning Obama's like, I have video of my birth, and this plays the beginning of The Lion King?
Yes! Oh my God.
I think on top of seeming like one of the nicest people to be president, Obama is one of the funniest presidents I think we've ever had.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think Obama's sense of humor is why Trump didn't run in 2012. I think Trump knew he wasn't going to be able to beat Obama.
Yeah.
So he was just counting on them to pick someone else in 2016, which, hey, good bet on him, he bet right.
God, Obama, he's put out like just random videos that are basically skits. Like,
yeah.
I remember there was one where it was like Obama being like, well, we're about to leave the White House. I don't know what to do. There's one where there's a clip where he's trying to dunk a cookie in milk, but the cookie is too big for the glass, and it's like he tries it and it doesn't work, and he just goes, "Thanks, Obama."
Like him and Biden doing skits is fantastic.
Oh yes,
like
I think just in general, something he does really well, which I always think is what makes comedians funnier, is that he was comfortable with making a joke and having the laugh be at his expense.
Exactly. And that's the thing with Trump. He can never really do that. Not as much as Obama.
Not at all. I mean, you remember the face.
Yes. Yeah, I do. Oh. I think it's going to be interesting to see like how media access is to Biden as his presidency like goes along.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just curious how much they're gonna try to like put a filter on him as to not like make him like embarrass himself on live TV, because unfortunately Biden can be prone to that sometimes. Like he'll just mess up the words.
Yes, but also I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people like Biden is because that shows, oh yeah, the president's also just a guy.
Yeah, that's how I felt when he freaking broke his ankle playing with his dog. It was a hair
Yeah.
fracture on his foot, and you have all the conservatives, and they're saying he's not going to make it. He's not even going to last 6 months. He's going to die like right in office. This is just the
Broken
beginning.
ankle.
I'm like, dude, he was playing with his dog. Like that's the most American thing I can think of. Someone playing with their dog and hurting themselves.
No, the most American thing I can think of is someone playing in the play place at McDonald's and breaking their ankle.
I was just thinking the most American thing was Trump's like fast food feast when he hosted like those college football champions. He's like, all right, we have the Big Macs here, the quarter pounders here, the nuggets here, all the fries down at the end.
And it was already cold too.
Yes. That's my favorite part is it was probably just sitting on a table like all day. Like they probably got all that food at like 11 to prepare for the people at 7.
How much do you want to bet that the White House kitchen staff are happy that they're going to have work again after these past 4 years?
I think they're part of them is ecstatic and part of them is like, oh, I have to work again. I have to start cooking.
Do you think there's a special like Secret Service DoorDash guy that like goes out to get Trump his McDonald's every day?
I think there's a secret Instacart guy that gets Trump like a 12-pack of Diet Coke once a day.
Oh my God, he would be the kind of guy to drink Diet Coke all day.
He does drink Diet Coke all day. Like it's been reported he has at least like 6 glasses a day.
He gets some Diet Coke and he gets some special Coke.
Yes.
Have you heard the stories of like him having a drug problem on the set of The Apprentice?
Yes.
There was a guy on Twitter where he like had an accident and they had to clear everyone out and he didn't even know what was going on just because drugs.
I haven't heard that, but that's fantastic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. I mismanaged time a little bit and forgot that I had chorus today.
Oh, Derek.
So Sam texted me like 10 minutes ago saying, LOL, there's no one in chorus. And I'm like, well, I said I'm recording a podcast. Guess I'm not doing chorus today. That's okay, because chorus is long anyways.
Yeah, that's what happened. I have a special ed class and it's 11:15 and I clicked on it at 11:15 and it was saying like it was waiting for her to let me in. And like 3 minutes had passed, and I was like, "Oh God, is she going to be one of these teachers that doesn't let me in because I was late?" And then my other friend texted me in the class, and he was like, "Dude, there's no one in here." I'm like, "Wait, did you get in?" He's like, "Yeah, we've been sitting here for like 3 minutes. She's not at her computer, and she didn't get back to her computer till like 11:25. We didn't start till like 11:30." I was like, "Damn." It's like, hey, that gives me more time to go on TikTok. TikToks.
Scroll through TikTok. Oh my gosh, TikTok. Oh, I want to save that discussion. That's a whole like topic. That's a whole. We spend an episode talking about TikTok.
Yes, we could.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think this is a good point to wrap up the episode for this.
I think so. It's been 38 minutes. I like the format here. These are fantastic little vids to put up.
Yeah, the format, which is to say no format.
Exactly. Just no planning. I think it's how there's run-on sentences? This is just a run-on conversation. That's what this is.
There's not a single period stated this entire conversation.
There's a lot of, well, that reminds me.
Right. And that's how conversations work. So like it's a good thing our podcast is like that. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening in to, I think this is officially episode 1 of the pWoCast. I'll see you whenever you see the next episode.
Whenever we'll get around to it.
If I see you in person, I don't know you, and you only know me from this, I'm going to be concerned. So I hope I don't see you. Anyway, peace. Yes.